falling from your First Nation eyes. See the wildflowers growing beneath that deep blue sky, touching the sunlight that warms our heart. Learn to respect, learn to respect, learn to respect, the elders have said.
Now, for this show, we're very pleased to have, I'm welcoming into the studio Larry Hanson. Hi, Larry.
Hello, how do you do?
Excellent.
Great.
Thanks so much for coming in at short notice, Larry. I guess you were down at Musqueam today, which is pretty close.
Actually, we had a pro day today, so we had a day off for the students.
Oh, okay. So Larry is a teacher. He's a musician, which we'll get to, but also a teacher. What exactly do you do there day to day? Which teaching?
We're teaching English and math and First Nation studies and career counseling. Get them into trades or post-secondary in the future, hopefully.
And is that so? The adult education?
Yes.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing that for?
This will be my second year. I taught in Tawasin for a year and taught for half a year at Native Ed Center. And this is an outreach program from Native Ed Center. And they just started last September. So it's been a couple of years doing that. I did my training down here at UBC through the NITEP education program, and did the history degree here. Yeah.
Oh, so great!
It's been quite an academic journey.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, so this is your stomping grounds, but I guess you never had a chance to get up here. It's the first time actually.
Actually, it is. Yeah,
it is.
I heard a lot about it, but I've never. This is my first time here. And
wow!
I'm glad to be back.
Oh well,
it's a great place.
It's really a pleasure to have you on. And in terms of your day work there, do you see, like it's the statistics wise, official statistics are quite dire for Aboriginal outcomes, education outcomes for Aboriginal young men especially.
Exactly.
So you're right in the place where really you should be. I mean, it's wonderful you've found a place to be a mentor. Do you see? Are you able to give us a different picture, maybe more positive picture than what the blanket statistics might say, like the individuals that you're teaching?
Well, I feel that it's more of a learning environment where they're more comfortable with me, and it's kind of like a carefree relationship where I can talk to them and I don't have to be stern or anything, and I want them to be an adult about doing their work and be committed to what they're doing and be responsible for anything that has to be done, right? Just like in life.
That's right. And I imagine you can create a more welcoming and accepting environment than maybe the alienating way that mainstream education.
Yeah, well, the mainstream, there are just so many students going through the programs, and numbers and teachers just have no time to get to anybody that's not up to par in their classroom, right? So this is a result, I guess, going into back to adult education to get back into the workforce again. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's really, really great to hear. I didn't realize that part of you. I mean, we were going to talk about music, and you brought your CD in, and this is really, it's really wonderful to hear that that's the other part of your life. And as far as music goes, Larry is one of the musical guests for the Red Jam Slam Society event that's happening on February 14th, which is going to be at the Interurban Gallery. I'll find out a little bit of information here about the Red Jam Slam Society. Coming up later on, we have an interview with Gunaji O'Sullivan. She's going to be talking for 5 minutes about the detail of the event, what it's all going to be about. But in essence, the Red Jam Slam Society was founded on June 10th, 2010, and it really exists to initiate celebrations and events and annual festivals that feature Aboriginal artists and performers, including Larry. And the Society encourages grassroots and inclusive strategies that honour all Aboriginal voice and encourages all to participate, encourages continued growth and presence within all media. So it's a wonderful organisation, and their event coming up on the 14th is very eclectic. We have musicians, speakers and comedians. And so Larry, how about let's go straight into a track of yours. From the Res Warrior CD, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about your music.
Okay.
So,
which one are you going to play?
Well, it's up to you. We've got the track list there. Is there anything you?
The first song is about the elders, and it's learning values and respect for the elders, and I think it's a good place to start, I think.
Definitely. So you just heard their track 1 from the Res Warriors CD called Elders. A wonderful song with a very wholesome, decent message. And Larry, you were just telling me, I mean, your role as an elder, education, you've already talked about your formal work currently in adult education, but you mentioned something off air about a little workshop you conducted for students.
Yeah, the Cam River Arts Society hired us. They phoned me down here and asked me, because I played for them last year, so they wanted me to go up and play for the children up at Cam River Museum. So I put together a little project, and my wife was included because she speaks the language. My daughter Natalie, she was there to help us, so it was really a lot of fun. We were excited to be there. She got to speak the language and got them to repeat it back to her. And
yeah.
So she wanted to do a demonstration of some of the language that she teaches in Cortez Island. She teaches at Cortez Island.
Yeah. Well, Helen she's here in the studio as well. Helen.
Hanson.
Yeah, Helen Hanson. Would you like to explain a little bit more about the work you do around language?
Okay, what I do is I record our language onto the firstvoices.com, and then you can go into the Clahoot language and learn our language from that site.
It's a website.
Huh.
www.clahoot.
And of what First Nations specifically, like what the language relating to what specific region? Like how far does it does the language sort of expand out traditionally? Hard to say.
I think a pretty wide range, because anyone can log on to First Voices and learn the language.
Oh, I mean in terms of geographically, the origin of that language here in North America, like how far?
I think it's specific to that area. There's three native bands. There's Paul River Slime and Band, and there's my band, which is Hamalco Band in Cam River, and her band is Cortez Island, Clahoot Band. And they originated from Toba Inlet, and the next inlet over was Butte Inlet, and Paul River was where Slime was, and they all spoke the general same language. Yeah, so it's kind of specific to that one little geographic area.
Yeah,
it's in the Comox dialect on the First Nations map, but it's got a specific sound to itself, I think.
It's so important, Helen, the work that you do to keep these traditions alive. I mean, individuals like you have to do this because all the pressures around that.
It certainly is, and there's another First Nations that is doing the same language as we are, and they are our neighboring Sliam First Nation, and they speak the same language as us, and we're both doing the same work as recording our language. And we have a few children's songs, stories in there, which is quite important for learning our language.
Like traditional stories that were passed on, yeah.
Yeah.
And Larry just suggested, Helen, would you like to speak in that language for us, for the listeners?
Okay. Ajishwat, that means how are you? You can say emot, which is I'm good, and I can count to 4 for you. Pa'a is 1, Sa'a 2, Chelis 3, Most 4.
Oh, thank you. And we'll get the website link up on our blog too, because that's really wonderful to know that exists. And are you aware of people in other communities doing this? Like, is there a network? Like say someone over in Ontario doing the same thing in a community? Like, does this website sort of relate to a bigger movement of language reclaiming?
There is. I'm not too sure how many languages are on First Voices. I think there's maybe about 30
Wow.
in BC that are
Wow.
recording their languages there.
Wow.
I think the biggest problem is that nobody knows, because they write it in their own language, the name on the website, and nobody knows how to pronounce it or say it or how to write it to get into the www, right?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they should put it in the like Cam River or Paul River or Cortez Island.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I don't know if that would help any, just to find the for people to find the language, right? It's because they don't know, right? It should be more simpler, I guess.
Yeah. Well, in any event, it's really great to learn that this is happening. It's a going concern, and your work's very, very needed, Helen. How about we play that Pass the Feather on, the single? Yeah?
Yeah, it's passing our knowledge on, right? So.
Yeah. Welcome back to CiTR Radio, 101.9 FM on the dial in Vancouver, or www.citr.ca on the internet. We're at Twitter at OzStranded, and this is live radio. We have Larry Hanson, First Nations musician, in the studio, and his wife Helen is here. She was just talking about the movement to reclaim First Nation traditional language, which is very positive. And another positive thing at the moment is the Idle No More movement, which has really galvanized a lot of support for First Nations people in Canada. And I wonder internationally how much attention it's got yet. I know it has had some media attention, but it's hard to say. Because I asked Paul Kelly last night, and when I interviewed him, because I know he's written some topical songs about the struggles for First Nations in Australia, and he wasn't aware of it. So I hope, mainstream media, I hope that you're doing what you're meant to do and making sure people are aware. Larry actually has a poem he's going to read for us. It's actually, I guess, lyrics for a song, and we're not set up today to play, but he's going to read these out. And just for people who aren't aware, the Idle No More movement is a self-determination movement, is relating to Aboriginal people in Australia. And I'm going to read you a bit of their manifesto online. So this is written by Jessica Gordon, the manifesto for Idle No More, on their website. We contend that the treaties are nation-to-nation agreements between the Crown and First Nations, who are sovereign nations. The treaties are agreements that cannot be altered or broken by one side of the two nations. The spirit and intent of the treaty agreements mean that First Nations peoples would share the land, but retain their inherent rights to land and resources. Instead, First Nations have experienced a history of colonisation, which has resulted in outstanding land claims, lack of resources, and unequal funding for services such as education and housing. Now, Larry, you've written your response and your thoughts and feelings about Idle No More. You've put it into words.
Yes, I think like my CD, I could tell you can tell my age saying records. Like Res Warriors, I think the movement is focused more on environmental warriors, where that everybody globally, this is where we live, right? And we have to kind of smarten up and try to get our act together and try to stop pollution and I don't know if you want to say capitalism, because it's I mean, how much money can they get, these corporations? They're in control of everything, and the people are trying to come together and show awareness, I think, more than about themselves. I think but there's a lot of different perspectives on that. I guess everybody has their own goal, but this is what I came together for for the way that I feel personally about it. So I like me and Helen to say it together. Can you feel our spirits? Can you feel our no idle spirits? Idle no more. We are idle no more. Idle no more. We are idle no more. Who are we? We are idle no more. We are idle no more. See our people. Hear our people. Can you see our people? Can you hear our people? Coming together. We are coming together. Protecting Mother Earth. Protecting Mother Earth. Feel our thunder. Feel our power of the people. Coming together in the four directions. Coming together in the four directions. Idle no more, idle no more. We are idle no more. We will be idle no more, idle no more. Coming together, we will be idle no more. Coming together for Mother Earth. Coming together with the power of our Creator. We shall stand for Mother Earth. We shall stand for Mother Earth. Idle no more for all your children. Idle no more for all your children. Idle no more for our future. Idle no more for our future. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And those are actually lyrics that I guess will you be performing this song?
Yes, I wanted to do that next week on the 14th.
Yeah.
There is no charge at the door. I don't think it's a free event. I think, and it's going to be. Remember, Sandy Schofield and Wayne Valley were one of the people that I met when we first started playing in Vancouver. And they were just youngins back then, and I heard they're playing that night, so it should be quite an event. I think there's a lot of First Nations talent that's going to be there, and so it's going to be a fun night, I think.
So we're just talking off air about residential school, and you have a track on your record Res Warriors about residential school. I'd love to leave us tonight with that track. What can you tell us about the song?
Residential school, I was a coordinator for my wife's band for 3 or 4 years, and brought in healers into the community to try to help them through their traumas that they'd gone through. And a lot of the residential school survivors didn't know they had gone through any kind of traumas because it was a lack of knowledge, because they were away from their parents to learn anything and things like that. So, and we also had a psychologist was there to help any people that were had any problems. But this song I wrote it for my friend. He kind of inspired me. He told me his story about how he had gone to residential school, and they took him on a boat by himself, and they had him in the boat, and he went there, and so that song was a result of that anyway. So I hope everybody likes it. It's a good song.
Great. Well, we'll leave the show tonight with that song. So thanks so much for coming in, Larry and Helen.
Thank you.
You're our honoured guest for the this special. We have another show next week before the 14th, so we'll try to get another interview happening because there's plenty of folks to feature. As I mentioned, Delana Galbowen, she's one of the performers. We just played her song. We have Chuck Cheese. We have Shed from Gabrielle Island. We have Callan Wee. Oh, and one other thing I had to mention, Gunji was saying, there's an event tonight, Niska's New Year.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah.
What is Niska?
Nishka is a nation. They're up past Prince Rupert. I think they just had their treaty process. They were the first people to sign the treaty in British Columbia. And they celebrate their New Year's today. They start their New Year.
Oh.
Yeah, it's from Nass River up north.
And so that their New Year celebration is on today. I'm just trying to work out here from the Facebook where it is. But anyway, if you wanted to find it online, go to Facebook, HOBIWE, Hobby, and Niska, NISGA, 'A. Type that into Facebook and the event will come up. Here it is. Peony Forum, 2901 East Hastings, Vancouver. There we go. Peony Forum tonight. Niska's New Year, free admission. And there'll be information booths available for non-profit organisations at no cost. And sounds pretty cool. So that's it for the show, because we have the sports taking over at 7 o'clock. That'll kick in a few minutes' time. Generally the show is an hour and a half, but this time of year sports co-ops a little bit of this slot. So let's go out with Residential School by Larry Hanson and the Res Warriors Project. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks very much, Matt. It's great to be here.
I felt one tear fall, 'cause now I'm over 54. I've learned how to love and how to speak my tongue, 'cause that's what an Indian, yeah, that's what an Indian's gotta do. That's what an Indian, yeah, that's what an Indian's gotta do.